Hey everyone, it's Riley, also known as Rainbow.blobfish, and I'm finally back with a new video. Today, I'm creating a sketchbook page themed around Vanellope Von Schweetz from Wreck-It Ralph. Vanellope has always been a favorite character of mine, and I was lucky to meet her when me and my mom went to Disney World's Epcot for a day. I had her sign her name on a page of my sketchbook when I met her, and I got the idea to create this page. I already have the sketch done with my pink Col-Erase pencil, so let's jump right into the line art. For the line art, I'm using one of my Micron pens. This one is a size 05, which also happens to be my favorite. There isn't much else to say about the line art, so while I'm doing that, I would just like to say thank you for all your support on my last video, and also thank you for all your sweet comments on the shorts I posted in the past month. I know it's been a month since I posted a full-length video, but I'm happy to say I'm back in my home state, so I can easily edit the videos that I had planned for you guys. For the layout of this page, you can see I've drawn the medal that Vanellope gets in the first movie, and I've drawn a lot of sprinkles on the bottom half of the page, and also a little headshot of Vanellope herself. And right now, I am writing her last name underneath her first name for a cute little touch. And at the top, I have a racetrack, and what at the end is supposed to be a Vanellope silhouette, but I don't think that really turned out the way I wanted it to, but oh well. And I don't really know why I did this, but in the sprinkles you can see there's one peppermint for some reason. I thought it'd be cute. I don't know why I didn't add more though. Now I'm actually starting lining Vanellope herself, which was pretty tedious, because doing line art on camera is kind of annoying for me, but I fixed what I messed up, so it's okay. I never drawn Vanellope before this, so I just kind of had to go with it, and none of the reference images I could find of Vanellope herself were in a 3/4 head turned pose, so I just came up with something. One thing I really like about Vanellope's design is her licorice hair bow that ties her ponytail up. I've always thought it was really cute, and it was really fun to draw all the little lines on the bow itself. Now that I think about it, I wish I had drawn a full body drawing of Vanellope on this page where I could have shown off her whole design, but I only really had room for a headshot. I am very happy with the layout of the final page, but there are definitely some issues with it that I didn't notice until a month after drawing this. Which goes to show that even people who have been doing art their whole lives still make mistakes, and that you should never give up. I recently finished the sketchbook that I'm doing this page in, so if you guys want to see a sketchbook tour, let me know in the comments. I'm not entirely sure. I've filled 9 sketchbooks so far, and I don't know if I should go back and film the first 8 before showing you sketchbook 9 or not. So if you have any advice, let me know in the comments. This sketchbook has definitely been my favorite that I've filled, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. Even though its paper quality is a little mediocre, but I mean, you gotta work with what you work with. Now, I'm finally coloring this thing. As you can see, I'm starting off with coloring Vanellope's skin, and the markers that I use are Ohuhu's. I have the normal 48 set, the Skintone set, and the Pastel set, and they're all the Brushmarker sets because I much prefer the brush tip to the chisel tip, even though I wish I had the fine tip, but it's fine. I don't draw things crazy small. As you can see, me coloring skin is sometimes a real struggle because I always end up smudging the eyes. Because like for some reason the line art just decides to smudge even though it's waterproof and not supposed to. But I recently switched the way I do line art from the Micron pens, which you'll see soon. Or if you watched any of my recent shorts, you could tell that I now do colored line art with a set of fine tip markers that I bought off of Amazon. Now I'm just going and coloring the sprinkles in their hair before I color the base of her hair. And coloring her hair was kind of hard because it's black, and if I colored it really black, then I wouldn't be able to see the line art. But I do it somehow. And now, while I have doing the hair, I'm doing the licorice bow with 2 different colors of pinkish reds. And then now I'm finally actually coloring the hair. Yay! As you can see, I'm going in with the shadows with the actual black itself, and then I'm using the darkest gray I have to color in her hair. I don't have the widest color selection when it comes to markers. I mean, I have quite a few Ohuhu markers. I do wish I had more purples though, because the Ohuhus, it's kind of lacking the purples, but I mean, and the blues. They lack in the blues too. But now I'm just finishing up her bangs, and then we'll finally move on to coloring her outfit and finishing up the rest of the page. Why did no one warn me how hard it is to film a voiceover before I started my channel? It's taken me so many tries, but I mean, and I keep running out of things to say. Wait, I got something now. Okay, so now I just added more shadows onto the skin, and occasionally you'll see my hand reach up and through the screen, and that's because like I'm listening to music and I have to and I skip certain songs because some songs come up and I'm like, why Spotify? But I mean, now I'm finally coloring her outfit, and then we're coloring the icing of the cookie because they're basically the same color. I mean, the icing of the cookie's a little lighter, but I didn't have a lighter teal. I only have this one and a darker one. So, I mean, I just ran with it, and I think it looks nice. I mean, I'm probably being too hard on myself. I'm just trying to come up with stuff to say, if I'm being honest. But I'm adding the color to the cookie, and then I think I do the brown part of the cookie and then the sprinkles, but I'm not exactly sure which part I do first. So we're about to see. Nope, I do the sprinkles first, of course. All else fails, color the sprinkles. And honestly, I chose 6 colors to do the sprinkles with on the hair, the cookie, and the sprinkles on the rest of the page because I wanted it to be cohesive. And I mean, I chose a shade of each color of the rainbow. Now I'm actually coloring the brown part of the cookie, and then we'll move on to the strap for the medal. Or I think, yeah. Or do I do the writing on the cookie first? Where did my hand go? Oh my gosh. Oh, no, we do the strap first. Yep. Sorry that this is so awkward. I'm just trying to come up with things to say at this point, because this video is 15 minutes long, and I didn't originally plan for it to be, but I wanted to have all the footage in here without it being super sped up and crazy. So, yeah. Who's even gonna watch to the end of this? LOL. And this in itself is super random, but I watched Wreck-It Ralph a lot as a kid because I remember when it first came out. I think we went and saw it in theaters. I can't exactly remember. It came out in theaters when I was like, I don't know. I'm actually gonna Google that real quick. Okay, I'm back. I just Googled it, and it came out in October of 2012, so I think I did see it in theaters, but I can't guarantee that. But me and my brother loved this movie as kids for some reason, and I remember it was always this movie or Chicken Little whenever we'd have movie night when we were kids, and mom and dad would always be like, okay, let's choose a movie to rent off of Amazon, and me and Finn would always either say Wreck-It Ralph or Chicken Little, and eventually like the two of them got like banned from our house, though we haven't watched either of those movies in forever now, but that was quite a few years ago. Now I'm coloring the sprinkles on the rest of the page, and I do like the colors I chose, but I didn't do very well distributing the colors, if I'm being honest. But the circle sprinkles are the primary colors, and then the rectangular sprinkles are the secondary colors, though I colored way too many of them orange. Then I'm adding the purple ones, which you can see there are way less purple ones than there are orange and green ones. So like the distribution is so off. But yeah, and then I have some tinier sprinkles up by the name now, which I went in later and added because I felt like something was needed right there. And those are just colored in the same fashion as the larger ones. And I've also added stitches onto the letter V because Vanellope has these stitches on the pocket of her sweatshirt in her outfit, and I thought it'd be cute to incorporate it on the name lettering itself. Now there's this empty moment of me not doing anything because I realized I never colored in Vanellope's mouth, which I'm doing now. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. Another thing I realized I didn't do was line the spots on the road, you know, like the yellow lines that go down the middle, and I realized I never lined that either, which I'm doing now, and then we can finally color the road at the top. But before we do that, using one of the colored pens I was talking about earlier, I'm adding some details to the stitching on the letter V, which I don't really think you can see on camera, but in real life you can see it. I guarantee that. I also end up adding some details with the colored fine liners I have to the strap of the medal, which you can see now. They're just lines that I added to add some texture, which you also can't see on camera. Now I'm adding a drop shadow to Vanellope's name just to add more color in the center of the page. And I did it with the same color of the sweatshirt and the icing of the cookie to tie those in. And it was nice. Felt like I was doing calligraphy, which I quite like doing, but I haven't practiced in forever. So who knows if I lost that skill or not. Then I'm coloring in the lines on the road now that that line art has dried while I finished up coloring the rest of the page. And then I'm coloring the road. And the camera shakes a lot right here because of how aggressive I colored in the road. Because it was just this one gray marker and I just kind of wanted to get it over with. I honestly, now that I think about it, if I were to redo this page, I wouldn't put the racetrack at the top. Or I would have made it more colorful somehow. After I do the base layer on the racetrack, I do go in and add some texture with the darker gray, but it honestly doesn't really turn out the way I wanted to. And now that I think about it, in the game Sugar Rush in Wreck-It Ralph, they don't have asphalt as the racetracks, so I don't know if I really should have done it this way. I really should have made a candy racetrack now that I think about it, and it would have really made the page a bit more cohesive. But I didn't think about that in the moment. But it's alright. It turned out okay in the end, so it's alright. And here I am adding that texture I was talking about, and also adding some shading at the end of the racetrack itself and blending everything out. But now we're finally getting to my favorite part of my art process, which is adding the white highlights on the piece. I add highlights to the nose and the eyes, and then I'm also adding it to the sprinkles all over the page, which I think turned out really nice, even though sprinkles really aren't that shiny. But I can't stop doing highlights once I start, if I'm being honest. So I mean, who doesn't like a good white highlight? And to do my highlights, I use the Uniball Signo white gel pen, and I used to use the Sakura Jelly Roll white gel pen, and eventually just stopped working for me. So I gave in and tried this white gel pen, and I love it so much better than the Jelly Roll. Now I'm taking my white Posca pen and cleaning up edges where I've accidentally gone outside the lines with the alcohol marker ink, which tends to happen with me, though I don't know how it doesn't happen with anyone. And this is the final stage in my process. So I would just like to thank you all for watching to the end of the video, and make sure to give it a like, comment, subscribe if you want to, all the YouTube things. And I will see you in my next video, which will hopefully be out soon. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Bye!